Of course.
My new joke. So, it really annoys me when people just complain all the time, especially when it's to me. So, I started to get back at them by quoting 80 sitcom theme songs, sorry. So, you know, they'd be complaining like, no, I know. Making your way in the world today does take everything you got. No, I hear you. Getting away from all your troubles sure would help a lot. I still think that's funny. New jokes throw you off. Do not add a joke you made up an hour before your show. So you know what I love? Infomercials. Because they're the only one bold enough to tell you that you're doing things wrong. You've seen the people in these commercials. I don't know where they find them, but like, where do you find someone that doesn't know how to fold a sheet? My favorite is the Forever Comfy. I don't know if you've seen this, but it's a cushion that you sit on because sitting is hard. I mean, humans have been walking our entire time on Earth. Sitting the entire time we've been on Earth, right? Like we learned to walk, realized that was hard, and sat down. They have the audacity to tell us we're doing it wrong. So, can we as a society just come together and admit that the automatic flushing toilet was a bad idea? Is there anyone out there that likes that? You're lying. So I was never into sports as a kid, so I could never really collect like baseball cards, and I just never got into it. And I always wished there was something I could get into, like stand-up comedian trading cards. And there'd be like a Brian Regan, Dimitri Martin, Matt Beagley. Yeah, I have my card, it's my fantasy, alright? And then, you know, Dane Cook would be like the Caterpie of Pokemon cards. Everyone's got one, but no one wants it. That's the one you put in the spokes-you wheel. So, you know, we're all LDS, we all help people move. I'm sure you all helped someone move at least 10 times this week. So here's a pro tip to make it a lot more fun. Start slipping things in their boxes that'll confuse them when they unpack. Honey, when did we get the CD of manatee mating calls? That's all for me, guys.
That's a perfect song for him. Alright, next up is Justin. He has 15 siblings. Wow, right? I don't know, that's a lot where I come from, so. Alright, so give it up for Justin!
So, I grew up in a pretty ghetto town. The first time I heard the phrase, stop, drop, and roll, I thought they were instructions on how to carry out a drive-by shooting. Don't you think it's funny how, that although drug dealers drive really fast cars, they still have to slow down to pick up speed? So the other night, my sister called me. She said, "Hi, I'm done with work. Can you come pick me up?" And I didn't want to go pick her up, spend all that time. But then I thought, what would Jesus do? Then I remembered that Jesus didn't have a car. So I said no. Anyways, I'm sitting down tonight because I actually have an injury, and I don't like to talk about it because it's kind of embarrassing. But a couple months ago, I had to go down to Salt Lake to get it further diagnosed. It's always fun going to the doctor. The medical assistant took me in and asked me a bunch of questions. She said, "What's your age?" I said, "About half your age plus 7. She said, "Are you allergic to any drugs?" I said, "I don't know, I haven't tried them all yet." And she said, so on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you weigh? Anyways, before I can answer her, the doctor walked in. I said, hello, I'm Dr. Aoki. He said, hello, doctor. And he said, can you please lay down for me? I said, on my stomach or on my back? He said, both. I said, doctor, I can't do that. He said, good, because that's really hard to fix. I said, okay, I need to understand how much pain you're in and where it hurts. So I kicked him in the crotch. So kind of like that, except it doesn't go away. So we eventually found out that I have a femoral acetabular impingement. Yeah, people run for cancer awareness. I think they should run for femoral acetabular impingement awareness, because I didn't know what it was. Anyways, he said that I'll probably never be able to play sports again or go hiking. So that's kind of a bummer. Oh well. The good thing is he gave me a prescription for a wheelchair, which I'm excited about because then I could tell wheelchair jokes. They came out with the electric wheelchair so that crippled people could have equal access to capital punishment. Yeah, at first I was worried, oh, what if there's a person in a wheelchair here tonight? They're going to try to beat me up. And then I remembered there were stairs in front of the stage. So a couple of weeks ago, I had to get my license renewed, so I went to the DMV. And the lady at the DMV, she told me, did you know that there are 10 million car accidents a year in the United States? And that 10% of those are attempted suicide? I said, well, doesn't that make it 9 million accidents a year? She said, okay, whatever. Would you like to become an organ donor? And at first I thought, no way. When I get cremated, I want it to be all of me. But then I thought, what would Jesus do? Oh wait, that won't work. So I said, no. She said, 100,000 people die every year waiting because they couldn't find a donor. I said, yeah, but even if they did, you still have 100,000 people die every year. Anyways, when I think about, how I can't play sports again, that's, I kind of get depressed. On top of that, my ex-girlfriend told me that she never wanted to see me again. So I poked her eyes out. Anyways, I'll try to be more positive. I'll tell you a joke. Why did the man jump off the Golden Gate Bridge? To get to the other side. Sorry, I came up with that joke as I was watching suicide videos on YouTube. And I was watching a documentary about the Golden Gate Bridge. The people that jump off of it. Yeah, so I learned that 30 people every year jump off the Golden Gate Bridge, and 2% of them survive. And that's got to be the worst because that means you suck at everything. You can't even die right. So I thought of starting a euthanasia organization. I'll call it Suicide Kicks. So, I guess I'm a deep thinker. I've been thinking about where the universe comes from. And no one really has the answer. So I went online and I went on askgod.com. Sent them an email. A couple of weeks later he replied. He said, outer space, lol. Yeah, thanks. Okay, so Peter Pan recently died. And he got his angel and pixie dust supply mixed up. How's that for a happy thought? Anyways, I told jokes at his funeral. Mostly deadpan jokes. So, they made a movie about Michael Jackson's life. They had to film it in black and white. The reason I bring up Michael Jackson is because I also told jokes at his funeral. Because it was open mic night. Alright, thanks so much.
Alright, next up is Dan! Woo!
I'm not that fat. Just a couple things. I'm gonna go fishing here. Anybody like my shirt?
Yes.
Yes? My wife picked it out for me. You know, living with a woman now that I'm married is a lot different than, you know, being single. I've learned a couple of things. I've only been married about a year, a little over a year. And a couple of things I've learned is if she calls you honey, dear, buttercup, cupcake, any variation of that, you're okay, you're fine. The second it's Dan, your full name, or any variation of your full name, my name's Dan, so that's why I said Dan. That's when, oh my gosh, what did I do? I better jump out of the window, I'm in trouble. Yes, dear, do you know what you did? What am I, the female president of the United States? Oh! Just kidding. One of the things that I found out is, like when I was living with my roommates, if I had my stuff hanging around or something and I didn't put it away, usually I'd go and ask them and they'd say, well, I don't know what I did with it. Are you sure you haven't seen my Xbox? I don't think I sold it for money. With my wife, it's a lot different. If something turns up missing in my house, I know exactly where it is. In the garbage. And finally, sharing a bed with a woman is quite interesting because during the middle, they fall asleep, you know, like this, or like, you know, they'll just sleep straight. But in the middle of the night, they do yoga in the sleep. And the next thing I know, I'm all like this. Hey, can I just get a little bit of that mattress or something? We have a dog that sleeps with us sometimes, and when the dog sleeps in the bed, I just might as well go sleep in the couch or something. Because then that dog's like, hey buddy, what are you doing? You're in my spot. So anyway, just wanted to, did y'all have a good time tonight? Yeah! Awesome. I'm so glad. You guys have been one of our best crowds. A little on the smaller side, but that's okay. We think that, you know, planning our show with the Man of Steel, like maybe that threw off a lot of people. Oh my gosh, Man of Steel! Get out of here. But we do appreciate you guys coming out. We do have another show coming up at 9 o'clock. You can feel free to stay for that. If you want to go get something to eat or something, come on back at 9. We're going to have different comedians performing, so it's going to be a different show. Just as funny, and I mean, you know, we're the cats of comedy, we're hilarious. So come if you want at 9 o'clock. If not, tell your friends to come. Other than that, we do have a free workshop to attend every Thursday at 7 o'clock. We usually hold those in the MC Special Events Room, number 387, down that way, in case you weren't getting the gist by me doing that. But we usually hold them there, 7 o'clock every Thursday. This is our last show for the semester, but we are going to try to do a couple off-campus, not as the Cats of Comedy, just as some regular guys, because, you know, school rules, we can't be ourselves. And it's diplomatic. But follow us on Facebook. We do have a Facebook page for BYUI Special, I can't remember. Cats of Comedy, I think. It's a really long Facebook page. Just look for us under the talent section of BYUI on Facebook, and you can keep up with our goings-on and things like that. Other than that, you guys were great. We loved having you, and we hope to see you at 9.